Kurt Vonnegut, the American novelist, said, "I wish people would substitute the word love with respect. So instead of saying, 'I love you,' they would say, 'I respect you.'" I think you can do a lot of crazy things and say, "Oh, I did it because of love." Like, for example, there's this man, he's coming home from work, and then he sees his wife in the living room, and he hears her voice, and sounds of pleasure comes, and then he sees her with another man, and he feels anger is filling his up, and he just goes down into his pocket and he takes his gun and he goes poof in the head of the woman, and he shoots the man as well. Poof. And afterwards he says, "Well, I did it because of love. I loved her so much, it made me so angry that she could do something to another person." So if we take the same story and we think that there's a man coming home and he opens the door, and then he sees his woman on the sofa with another man, and he thinks, "This is the woman I respect with another man." And he fumbles down and he searches his gun and he's about to shoot her when she thinks, "Oh, this is the woman I respect. Is it a good idea to shoot her? Maybe I should just put the gun down and wait for a little while and then ask her what's going on." And that could be a way of thinking about the difference between love and respect. There's some people who chooses not to define the relationships. They say, "But I don't want to call this person friend, or I don't want to call him, her, lover. I just want it to be something that is defined by the actions we're doing." And I on the other hand, I like to say, "Hey, your friend, your lover," and to give these labels, because I feel that by giving a label, it's not like limiting the things, it's more like giving it a frame to work it. So if we think of these labels as the finger, and I'm pointing at the moon, so don't look at the finger. Once you've seen the moon, then that's where we want the attention. Question is, what is the difference between friends and lovers? Can you be both, or does the one exclude the other? So, if I were a friend with you, and then we had sex, how many times do we need to have sex before we are turning into lovers? Is sex really what's the difference between friends and lovers? And as we leave the lover image, as we've been lovers for a while, how many times is it that we're not making love before we are friends again? Can you go back from a lover to a friend? I do not need to love everybody I fuck. I do not need to fuck everybody I love. A quote I heard some while ago, and it sort of stuck with me, and I sort of hope that it will stick with you enough that you can give me your thoughts about it. We live in a world where many friends is seen to be a good quality. On the other hand, many lovers, that is seen as a bad quality. Oh, you cannot make up your mind. You're greedy. I think of it and I'm just playing with some images now, it's a difference between a person who has only read one book and he is going to continue reading that book until forever. Or at least this person is not going to read another book before this one is finished. Then this person might start reading this other book. I, on the other hand, from being a child, has always enjoyed the interplay between reading different books. So if I'm, on the other hand, read War and Peace by Tolstoy, and I read, well, The Ethical Slut by Dossie Easton and Janet Hardy, these books can also communicate with each other. So I can ask, now, if Tolstoy would be a part or be alive in the world of The Ethical Slut, what would he think? How would he read it? What values would he see? And again, I could see, when I'm looking at the Tolstoy, I could see, okay, now, how do we see if we are using the values and ethics of The Ethical Slut on Tolstoy's work? How does this work? So, there's this conversation going on. And I think this is making it much more exciting to read both books. Maybe we should have something like a library idea. I loan you for a while, and you can loan me for a while. And afterwards, we can give each other back to each other. In the meantime, we can read each other, we can mix our pages, we can play around. The important thing is that we give each other back to each other. So, what I invite you to think about is, when does a friend become a lover? And when does a lover become a friend? Is sex the dividing line? Another opposite of friend is enemy. Another opposite of enemy is lover. And I cannot understand why it's accepted in this society that once you are not lovers anymore, quite a lot of people turn into enemies. And they are allowed to say a whole lot of crap about a person they at one point were going to love forever. I think it would be more a better idea to say, hey, we were attracted to each other, we had a good time, now it's not us. Love can include respect. Respect can include love. And when you come, when you come home today, or when you meet your loved ones, maybe one or two, maybe instead of saying "I love you" today, you can say "I respect you." And see how that changes the relationship. Is it different if you say "I love you," "I respect you," "I love you," "I respect you"? I love you. I respect you. I wish people would substitute the word love with respect. Give it a try and see what happens.